So when I was a child, I received an American Girl doll for Christmas. And then later, I received another American Girl doll from my aunt for my birthday. We went to the American Girl store. We made a whole day of it. It was very fun. And my 3 older cousins each had an American Girl doll. And then at some point, they were moving upstate. So my cousin called me and she was like, "Hey, do you want our American Girl dolls?" And I was like, "Yes." And she was like, "Okay." So then I had 5 total American Girl dolls, which is a lot. And I played on the American Girl website a lot, like the Flash games. And I did a lot of crafting, like making furniture and clothes for them. And then somewhat recently, in 2019, I excavated them from a bin in the garage, and I fixed them all up and I sold them. They weren't in terrible condition. There had just been some unfortunate haircuts. So I fixed that, and then I sold them on eBay. Oh, what are those? Well, I bought more. I really enjoyed the process of fixing them up, and I wanted to do more, so I bought more dolls that were in bad shape off of eBay, and then I fixed those up, and now those are behind me. They're different dolls than the ones that I sold. I didn't buy the same dolls again. That would be ridiculous. But I've been in kind of an American Girl doll mood for the past few years. So I thought it would be fun to do a timeline of the whole history of the company. A quick disclaimer, there's a lot to cover. The company has been around almost 40 years now. So this is a comprehensive overview, not super detailed, in-depth about every aspect of the company. We're gonna breeze by some things. Rest assured, this is still going to be more information about American Girl doll than anyone cares about, other than me. Over the course of working on this video, I've started quoting that Vine. You know the one.
I think I know more about American Girl dolls than you do.
You never get any American Girl study.
I was not actually going to put that Vine in the video, but my parents think it's hilarious, and when I mentioned I wasn't planning on putting it in, they both, unprompted, started booing me. So I have now put it in the video because my parents heckled me. But we have a lot to get through, so let's just get started. Our story begins with a woman named Pleasant Rowland. She created the American Girl brand. She was born in 1941, and she was a school teacher before she became a textbook writer. In 1978, she created a literacy program called Super Kids, and she worked with a woman named Valerie Tripp to write a bunch of songs, stories, plays, nonfiction essays, and skills books. And then in 1984, Pleasant Rowland went on a trip to Colonial Williamsburg with her husband, and she loved it. And she wanted to figure out some way to make history appealing to children, especially little girls. And then later, she was shopping for dolls for her nieces, and she didn't like the selection. There was sort of 2 extremes. There was either dolls that little girls were supposed to play with by pretending to care for them, so like baby dolls. And then on the other end of the spectrum, there were dolls like Barbie that were more aspirational, for girls to act out what life might be like as an adult. But there weren't really dolls that were meant to represent the same age as the children playing with them, that could be more of a reflection of the children's own lives. So Pleasant Rowland had an idea to combine stories that would get children interested in history with dolls that would be a reflection of the child. So this would be a line of dolls where each doll was a character who was a 10-year-old girl living through a significant point in American history. And so she called up Valerie Tripp and she was like, "Hey, I have this great idea. Do you want to write some children's books with me?" And Valerie Tripp said yes. So they worked on the concepts and stories for 3 characters. And in 1986, Pleasant Rowland launched the doll line as a catalog mail order exclusive under the name Pleasant Company. If you are younger than me and you don't know what a catalog is, it's like online ordering, but by mail. So you get a catalog in the mail that shows all the things you can buy from this brand, and it has an order form. You fill out the order form with what you want, then you mail it back to them, and they take your order, and then they mail you the stuff. The 1980s equivalent of Amazon. If you're older than me, you're like, why is this child explaining catalogs? I just want to make sure we're all on the same page. These dolls were not sold in physical stores. You had to order them by mail. The 3 original characters in the lineup were Kirsten Larson. It's Kirsten, not Kristen. Common mistake. Kirsten represents the 1854 pioneer era. So when there were a lot of immigrants coming from Western Europe to America. Think sort of like the Oregon Trail. She had light skin, blonde hair with bangs that were in these like iconic looped braids, and blue eyes. The outfit that she came in when you bought her, this is called a meet outfit because it's what the doll is wearing when you meet her. So Kirsten's meet outfit was a blue calico dress, brown boots, and a red striped apron. And her story was about immigrating from Sweden to Minnesota. It gives very Little House on the Prairie vibes. The next character is Molly McIntire. She represents 1944 and the U.S.'s involvement in World War II. She has light skin, brown hair with bangs and braids that are just like normal braids, not like looped up braids. Gray eyes, and she wore these wire-rimmed glasses. Her meet outfit was a navy argyle sweater with this Peter Pan collar thing, a navy skirt, and Mary Jane's. Her story sort of revolves around her dad is away fighting the war, her mom is working for the Red Cross, they're like food rationing. I think Molly does tap dance. And then the third character is Samantha Parkington. She represents 1904, so sort of the turn of the century. Sometimes this is referred to in materials as the Victorian era, which is not correct. More accurately, it would be the Edwardian era, but I think that is also incorrect because that more refers to England. I think when you're talking about American history, it's referred to as the Progressive era, but I think of it as just the turn of the century. She has light skin, brown hair with bangs, and brown eyes. Her meet outfit is this checkered dropped waist dress with black stockings and black Mary Janes. Her and Molly had the same shoes. Her story was that she was an orphan living with her grandma, who was referred to as Grand Mary. We also call my grandma Grand Mary. So as a child, I was very excited by the Grand Mary representation. And her Grand Mary is quite wealthy, so she's living this sort of luxurious life. But she befriends a servant girl named Nellie, who used to work in a factory. And so there's a lot of themes about like child labor. Also the early women's suffrage movement. The dolls themselves were produced by a West German toy company called Guts. Pleasant Rowland looked at a doll in a department store, and it had a manufacturing label from Guts. So she approached them to manufacture her dolls. They used an existing one of their dolls as the model. It's face sculpt, so the way that the plastic is molded for the head is referred to as the Romina sculpt. So the doll's limbs and head, so the arms, the legs, and the head, are made out of this sort of squishy vinyl, and their torsos were made out of this cloth that was stuffed with fluff. They have these inset eyes, so instead of the eyes being painted on like they are on a Barbie, the eye is a separate piece that is inside of the head, and the eyes can open and close. They're called sleep eyes because when you lay her on her back, her eyes close. You can decide for yourself if you think that's creepy. And the hair is a wig. So a doll like Barbie has a bunch of little holes on her head, and the hair is coming out of those holes, and there's glue on the inside of her head keeping the hair in place. With American Girl dolls, it's this tiny wig that is then glued onto the head. The dolls were released, and they came with their first book. So there were books that accompanied these dolls. And when you bought a doll, it came with her first book, just the first one. The first book was called Meet Character, so Meet Samantha. Then there were 2 other books, which you could buy separately, called Character Learns a Lesson, so like Molly learns a lesson, and Character's Surprise, so like Kirsten's surprise. You get it. Here's my confession. I have not really read the books. There's a lot of books. I did not read them as a child because my mom did not want to buy them for me because they're kind of short, and she thought it would be a waste of money because I would finish it too fast, and the whole point of buying me books was to keep me occupied. I've read some of the American Girl books, but I definitely have not read most of them. Those are some of the books behind me, because when my dad heard that I was making this video, he bought me a bunch of books. He was like, "Is this going to help with your video?" And I was like, "Yeah." even though at that point I had already decided that I wasn't going to talk about the books in this video. I want to talk about the books in a separate video. So sort of like I did the Disney Fairies books, like read a bunch of the books and talk about them later. But we just don't have time to talk about the plots of all of these books right now. So there were 3 books. The meat book, which came with the doll, and 2 other books sold separately. And there were clothes that tied into those books. So the character learns a lesson books were sort of school themed. So there were school outfits. Character's surprise were sort of holiday themed, like Christmas. So there was a holiday outfit. And then also there were pajamas, beds, and storage trunks. There were also meat accessories. So like a little coin purse and a handkerchief and a spoon. As with all small toys given to children, these were very easily lost. So on the secondhand market, it's common to find a doll and her outfit, no meat accessories, because those have been lost to time. They also released a product line called Dress Like Your Dolls, which were the same outfits for the dolls, but for a small child, so you and Samantha could match. The catalogs were sent out just in time for the holiday season of 1986, and the dolls were super successful. They made over $1 million in that one winter. Which, okay, let's talk about cost for a moment. These dolls are expensive. They are a luxury toy. If you are adjusting for inflation, the price has actually stayed pretty consistent. The price of a doll has stayed around $100 to $200, an outfit around $30 to $50, a furniture piece or playset a couple $100. There's a whole conversation to be had about the price of these dolls, but we are not talking about that in this video. Then, in 1987, they released another book for each of the girls, which was Happy Birthday Character! And then each of them got a birthday collection. Also, 1987 is when the American Girl benefit sale started. It's a sale that raises money for the Madison Children's Museum. Then, in 1988, they released 2 more books. The first being Character Saves the Day, which was sort of summer themed. So the girls got a summer collection. And Changes for Character, which were sort of winter themed. And so they got a winter collection. So at this point, each of the girls has 6 books. Also in 1988, the Doll Hospital was founded. So this was basically a repair service where you mail in your doll and they fix it up, basically by swapping out parts. So like, if you gave your Samantha doll a really unfortunate haircut, they'd just pop her head off, put on a fresh Samantha head, and send her back to you. But it was hospital themed. So they would mail the doll back to you in like a hospital gown with like a get well soon card. In 1990, our historical girls get school desks to sort of tie in with the school book and additional assorted outfits. Pleasant Company also released a new line of baby dolls called Our New Baby, which was aimed at a slightly younger demographic than American Girl dolls. So kids who weren't yet ready to have an American Girl doll, they could get this more durable baby doll. Also, I don't think I've mentioned this. The American Girl dolls, the standard normal line, so like Kirsten, Molly, Samantha, they are aimed at girls like 7 to 12. And the characters in these books are 10 years old. And the dolls look like toddlers. I mentioned recently to my mom that the characters were 10. And she was like, the dolls are supposed to be 10? And I was like, well, not really. The characters are 10, the dolls aren't 10. The dolls are, for some reason, younger. Also, they released these activity kits, and they called them Portfolio of Pastimes. They had, like, paper dolls, sewing patterns, craft kits, activities. American Girl has released a lot of these kind of craft kits over the years, and I'm not going to be mentioning them anymore past this point, because I think it's kind of redundant, and also I don't have solid dates for a lot of it. But just know in the back of your mind that throughout the history of the brand, American Girl is selling activities and craft kits. 1991 is a big year for the brand because they get a new historical character. Her name is Felicity Merriman, and she represents 1774 in colonial Williamsburg, like the Revolutionary War period. You'll remember that it was a trip to colonial Williamsburg that inspired Pleasant Rowland to think of this brand. I don't know why a colonial Williamsburg doll wasn't one of the first 3, but she was the 4th one. She has light skin, red hair, no bangs this time, and green eyes. I just realized I should go get my dolls. Hold on. Her meet outfit was this cream floral dress with a white shift under it, and then socks and these sort of colonial shoes with like the buttons on them. The necklines on colonial fashions were like just a skosh lower, so you could see a little bit of this body fabric. So while the earlier dolls had white cloth bodies, on Felicity the white would have shown, so they changed it to a skin-colored fabric. So just for comparison's sake, here's my Samantha. You see how her neckline goes like all the way up to her chin, basically? So it wouldn't have mattered if her body didn't match her limbs. I know I could reshoot it and hold up my Samantha when I'm actually talking about her, but I don't want to, so here she is right now. The hair on this Samantha turned out gorgeously. I got these off eBay and restored them, so I'm personally invested in how they look. My Felicity's hair is a little bit more damaged. I could probably do more to it to fix it, but I'm afraid of ruining her. So this is just what her hair is going to look like right now. Okay, I put them back. I'd say the other important thing about Felicity is that she's a horse girl. She has a horse. She cares a lot about the horse. There's a lot of discussion of the horse. I don't care about horses. So I remember in my childhood, there was a lot of horse-heavy marketing for Felicity that I did not care for. But she was a good deal on eBay, so I bought her anyway. She was released with all the standard stuff that the first three girls were released with. So the first three books, her school outfit, her holiday outfit, her pajamas, her bed. Then in 1992, they launched the American Girl magazine. So this was a magazine aimed at like tween girls with short stories and activities and advice. Also in 1992, they started another charity event, the fashion show, an event where little girls would wear the historical fashions and do a fashion show, and it would raise money for charity. Also, Felicity got her birthday collection, her summer collection, and her winter collection. 1993, we get another new doll. Her name is Addy Walker. She represents 1864, the Civil War and Reconstruction era. She is the first not white doll. She has dark skin and a new face mold. So up until now, all of the dolls have had the same face, which is referred to by collectors as the classic mold. But for Addy, since she was an African-American character, they gave her her own face mold. Collectors refer to this as the Addy mold. Collectors refer to face molds based on which doll had that face first. So since Addy was the first doll to have this mold, it is called the Addy mold. It is named after her. She has textured dark brown hair and dark brown eyes. Her meet outfit is a pink dress, stockings, and black boots. Her story focuses on her and her mother escaping slavery and then dealing with freedom and segregation up in the North. This is when American Girl started working with advisory boards to help with being accurate and respectful and sensitive. Addy's a little bit of a controversial doll because she is an escaped slave character sold by a company for profit. However, I think it's sort of agreed upon that Addy's stories are done really well and respectfully, and her stories humanize slavery for the little girls reading these books. I know that for a lot of people, it's their first exposure to what slavery was like, how it would have affected someone like them, i.e. a little girl. And slavery is such a big part of American history that I think it is important for American Girl to acknowledge it, and I think it's good that they did it from the perspective of an enslaved character. On the flip side of that, I learned while researching this video, in Felicity's stories, her grandfather owns a plantation and slaves, which is not great. And the books do have a section at the end called Looking Back, which provides historical context. At the end of Felicity Saves the Day, there is a little bit about slavery, but I wouldn't say it particularly tries to condemn slavery, which is not great. And I just wanted to bring it up because I know that Addy is kind of controversial, but I think that a lot of people don't know, like I didn't, the slavery connection to Felicity's stories. And it is definitely on me for buying an American Girl doll without having read her books and buying her despite not actually knowing that much about her. And I am not going to do that again. Because now I just have a slave-owning child on my bookshelf. Anyway, Addy, she was released with her first 3 books, her school outfit, her holiday outfit, her trunk, her pajamas, her bed. Standard. And then in 1994, Addy got the rest of her collection, so the next 3 books, her birthday outfit, her summer outfit, and her winter outfit. Also in 1994, American Girl started branching out into other types of products. Quick overview, they did Grin pins, which were these collectible buttons. They had a lot of different designs, and they were phased out in like the early 2000s. Miss A.G. Bear, who I think was initially supposed to be the mascot of the magazine. She's this little teddy bear with little outfits. There were trading cards. These were collectible cards for the characters representing different parts of their stories. There was American Girl gear, which was a modern children's clothing line. And there were board games and puzzles. So we're sort of broadening the scope of the brand. Then in 1995, they replaced the Our New Baby line with Bitty Babies. So a different line of baby dolls. They also released a line called American Girl of Today. This was a modern line of dolls that did not have characters associated with the dolls. So the dolls didn't have names or books or backstories. They were just a blank slate in modern clothes. They released 20 of these dolls, and they each have different combinations of features. So hair color and style, skin color, eye color, face mold. And so each of these dolls is numbered. So for example, a number 7 refers to a doll with a classic mold, light skin, brown hair with bangs, and blue eyes. As part of this, they released the first American Girl doll who was implied to be of East Asian descent. This was doll number 4, and she had a new mold which has only ever been used for number 4. The marketing wasn't that you were supposed to pick a doll that looked like you. It wasn't supposed to be a mini-me, necessarily. She was supposed to be a blank slate that the recipient child would then come up with a character for. And the marketing revolved around how the modern era was also a part of history. She's just like you. You're a part of history, too. Throughout the history of American Girl, new dolls in this line get released and old dolls get retired. I'm not going to be giving continuous updates on that. Just assume that throughout the next decades, there are changes to this lineup. They also release a lot of modern outfits each year, which I'm not going to be getting into. But again, just assume there's new modern outfits coming out all the time. The American Girl of Today dolls came in their own meet outfit. And when they launched in 1995, that meet outfit was the mix and match outfit. Their meet outfit changes over the years, and I will be giving updates on that. In 1995, they also released mini American Girl dolls. So these were miniature versions of the 5 historical dolls, and they were advertised as like dolls for your American Girl of Today doll. So your American Girl of Today could have her own American Girl doll. They do meta things like this kind of a lot, where like, does my doll know she's a doll? Does she know that she has a doll? Does she know that her and her doll are the same brand of doll? Very Toy Story existential crisis. Anyway, 1996, American Girl of Today drops the of, so now it's just American Girl Today. What do we want? American Girl. When do we want it? Today. I think I'm funny. Also, they changed the meet outfit to the first day outfit. Also in 1996, they launched the American Girl website. I'm pretty sure it's 1996. When you search things about the American Girl website, you obviously just get the website, which is not what I want. I want the history of the website. And I did look on the Wayback Machine, and I think it might have actually been 1997, because that's the first sort of real-looking archive of the website. But I don't know. I'm also not going to be talking about updates to the website. I kind of want to do that in a different video because I think it's very interesting. But the website evolves over the years. At this point, there is no online ordering. So they have a website, but you can't buy dolls through the website. You still have to either do it by mail or do it over the phone. 1996 was also the beginning of the American Girls Club and Historical Society. It was originally like a historical book club where you and your friends would get together and fill out these reading journals about the historical girls' books, and then you would submit them to American Girl and get a certificate that said that you were a historian. They phased out this historical society aspect by 1997, I think because no one was interested in doing it. And then the club was sort of more about making friends who were into American Girl, having pen pals, that kind of thing. In 1997, we get a new historical girl, and I have her. Let me go get her. This is Josefina Montoya. She represents 1824 on a Mexican rancho. She has medium skin and a new face mold, which is called the Josefina mold, because she's the first one to have it. She has dark brown hair that's in a braid, and when I got this doll, I redid her hair, which she has the thickest hair in the universe. So halfway through, I was like, I've made a terrible mistake. I'm never going to get her braid done. But it turned out okay, I think. The back is okay. She also has a new style of eyebrows. So before it would be just like this curved line, like a parentheses. But for Josefina, we did these I was not involved. But for Josefina, they did these feathered brows. So like a bunch of individual hair-like strokes. Her meat outfit is this white camisa, which is almost like a shift, like it comes down kind of to her knees. This maroon skirt over it, and these leather moccasins, which I believe mine are actually leather. And when she first was released, they were made of actual leather before they switched to a faux leather. She also has these gold hoops in her ears. Can you see that? I don't think you can. Is that good? Can you see them? So in Josefina's stories, she lives in what is now New Mexico, but it's taking place post-Mexican independence, but pre-Mexican-American War. So Mexico is now free from Spain and not yet owned by the United States, which is interesting because it means that Josefina is living in a place that at the time is not technically America, but it's still American history because it will be America. Josefina is dealing with farm life and grieving the death of her mother. Upon release, she had her meat outfit, her school outfit, her holiday outfit, her pajamas, her trunk, and her bed, and her first 3 books. Also in 1997, the other historical dolls got some limited edition outfits, and a computer game was released called The American Girls Premiere, where you were like directing plays. Then in 1998, Josefina gets the second half of her collection. So the next 3 books, the birthday outfit, the summer outfit, and the winter outfit. The American Girl Today meat outfit is changed again, this time to the red vinyl jumper outfit. And American Girl starts releasing advice books. So this is the year that the iconic Care and Keeping of You comes out. Also, Miss A.G. Bear is retired. Oh, and also, Mattel buys Pleasant Company for $700 million, which is a lot of dollars. Also in 1998, the first American Girl store is opened. It's called the American Girl Place, and it opens in Chicago. There's a cafe, and there is a theater, like a live theater, not a movie theater, where they are hosting the American Girls Review musical. The plot of the musical, as I understand it, is that a girl named Laura is about to join the American Girls Club, and the members of the club are trying to help her imagine what it was like for American girls in their time period. And so they each sing a song about a historical girl. I think that's the premise. But then in 1999, the American Girls Club ends. There's another video game called the American Girls Dress Designer, sort of like a virtual version of Paper Dolls. And American Girl starts another book series called History Mysteries. These books were published through 2004, and they are mystery books taking place in history, not the historical characters, new different characters from time periods and events not covered by the current historical girl lineup. Next, in the year 2000, we get another historical character. Her name is Kittredge, and she represents 1934, the Great Depression. She has light skin, a classic mold, freckles for the first time, a blonde bob, and blue eyes. Her meet outfit is a lavender cardigan and sweater with a floral skirt and white sandals. In her story, her father has lost his job, and their house is now serving as a boarding house, like people are staying with them. Kit wants to be a journalist. She's kind of a tomboy. She's released with her first 3 books: school outfit, holiday outfit, pajamas, bed, and trunk. The American girls today are given another meet outfit. This one is called the urban outfit. Also, 2000 is the debut of Coconut, who's a little white Westie dog and serves as sort of a mascot of the brand for a period of time. Coconut is meant to be like a pet for your dolls. Also, American Girl did a line called AG Minis, which are these mini diorama rooms that had electrical wiring in them and they would light up. My understanding is that they were expensive and heavy. In 2001, Kit gets the other half of her collection, so the next 3 books, the birthday collection, summer, and winter. 2001 is also the debut of the Girl of the Year line. So Girl of the Year is a limited edition doll who is only available for 1 year, and it was considered sort of part of the American Girl Today line. So a modern character that is meant to represent the year that she is sold in. So this doll would be the 2001 doll. Her name is Lindsay Bergman. She has light skin, classic mold, a curly brown bob, and blue eyes. Her meet outfit is a green t-shirt, a hoodie, a khaki skirt, striped tights, and red boots. And she sold very poorly, which led to the next Girl of the Year being pushed by a year. Because they were like, we need to sell off all of our Lindsays, so we can't do the next one until we finish her. She didn't really have a theme. Later Girls of the Year always have a theme of their collection and their stories. Lindsay doesn't really have that. I always think of her as having an animals theme because her t-shirt says dogs, and in her illustration she has this wiener dog, and I know there's something in her plot about a pet parade, but I don't think that was intended to be her theme. I think I'm just retroactively assigning her a theme because all of the other Girls of the Year have a theme. Her collection was quite small, so she's the only Girl of the Year where I'm going to show you the whole collection. The rest of them are just getting the highlights. She had a laptop and a scooter, and you could not actually get the aforementioned dog. Also, at the American Girl place, the musical was updated to Circle of Friends, an American Girl musical. In this one, the American Girl Club, which at this point does not exist, is setting up a surprise slumber party for Laura's birthday. The same Laura from the previous musical, maybe? And so then Katie has everyone bring out a quilt square that they made that's based on their favorite American Girl story. And they're going to give the quilt to Laura as a birthday present. And so then they each sing a song about the story that they have made a quilt square about. And so these are different stories than the stories that the first musical had songs about. I don't know why we changed the musical, because it is very similar in many ways. I need to see if there's like a bootleg recording of these musicals somewhere. Figure out the lore. Also, American Girl started selling these advice books called A Smart Girl's Guide. I was obsessed with these books. I had like all of them. I unfortunately no longer have them because I got rid of them like an idiot. But they were advice books centered around different topics. And so, as a child with anxiety, I loved this series. A book that's going to tell me about parties? Perfect. There was also a partnership with Hallmark. You know how Hallmark does greeting cards, but they also do like gifts? This was that. So American Girl, Christmas ornaments, figurines, bookends, bookmarks, snow globes, charm bracelets, etc. And these were sold through 2005. There was also an Angelina Ballerina collab that was sold through 2004 of like Angelina Ballerina dolls. Then in 2002, we get a new historical character. Her name is Kaya Atonmai. She represents 1764, and indigenous people post-European contact. So she's from the Nez Perce tribe in modern-day Pacific Northwest. She has medium skin and the debut of the Kaya mold. In her culture, it is considered respectful to not show your teeth. And obviously, all of the American Girl dolls have those cute little buck teeth. So for Kaya, they gave her a mold with a closed mouth. She has black hair and 2 long braids and brown eyes. Her meat outfit is a faux deerskin dress, moccasins, and hair shells. Her story deviates from the formula of all of the previous girls because those stories used cultural concepts that did not exist in her culture. And also, she wouldn't have had a bunch of different outfits. So you can't do like a school book with a matching school dress because she wouldn't have had that, right? You can't do a book about Christmas and a holiday dress because she wouldn't have done that, right? So her books are Meet Kaya, Kaya's Escape, Kaya's Hero, Kaya and Lone Dog, Kaya Shows the Way, and Changes for Kaya. She had a small collection that was released all at once when she launched. The American Girl Today line got a new meat outfit. It is the Go Anywhere outfit. Also, they end the American Girl Gear line of clothes, and Felicity is removed from catalogs. So you can't buy Felicity in catalogs anymore. An American Girl debuts a new line called Girls of Many Lands. These are 9-inch tall display dolls, so not meant to be played with, focusing on different periods of history around the world. There is Isabel Campion, representing Tudor England in 1592, Cécile Revel, representing France during the last years of the reign of King Louis XIV of France in 1711, Minook, representing the arrival of Christian missionaries in the Alaskan Territory in 1890, Spring Pearl, representing China during the Second Opium War in 1857, and Neela Sen, representing the rise of desire for independence in British-occupied India in 1939. And I actually have her. Hold on. See, she's so little. You aren't supposed to change their clothes. They didn't sell extra clothes, and these clothes aren't really made to be taken off. She's literally just a display doll. They have painted on faces, and I feel like it's important to note that the dolls don't look anything like the illustrations, which is also true for the normal historical dolls, where you have this illustration of like, oh, this is what Molly looks like, and then you look at the doll and you're like, no, she doesn't. But I don't know, maybe it's just the illustration style combined with the style of the dolls, but these dolls really do not look like the illustrations. And some of them, like specifically Cecile, looks kind of terrifying. Like her eyes are staring into your soul. Then in 2003, we get our next Girl of the Year. Her name is Kaylee Hopkins. She has light skin, a classic mold, blonde hair, and brown eyes. And her meat outfit is this aqua sundress and sandals. She's like a California surfer girl, so her collection is centered around the ocean. She has a wetsuit and a surfboard, a swimsuit, a snorkel, and she comes with a dog. Some other lines, they launched the Biddy Twins. It's like an offshoot of the Biddy Babies. There are 3 more Girls of Many Lands. Saba, representing Ethiopia during the Age of Judges in 1846. Layla, representing the Tulip period in Turkey in 1720. And Kathleen Murphy, representing Ireland during the global Great Depression in 1937. These dolls are harder to find because they weren't available for as long. I feel like when you're looking secondhand, there's a lot of Ceciles and Isabels. Not as many of these other girls. They also retired the AG Minis line because of the aforementioned expensive and heavy problem. And American Girl launched Hopscotch Hill. This was another line that was aimed at a younger demographic than for the standard American Girls. And the premise was that they were students in preschool together. The characters upon launch were Logan, Skylar, and Hallie. And these dolls look like they're up to something. They look like sneaky little elves. When people say that American Girl dolls look creepy, I grew up with them, so I don't really see it. But when people say these dolls are creepy, I'm like, yeah. Also, they opened another American Girl place, this time in New York. Then in 2004, we get our first American Girl movie. It is a movie about Samantha called Samantha, An American Girl Holiday. It premiered on the WB channel and then got a DVD release, and they released a lot of promotional movie-specific items, such as the first ever best friend doll. So this is a doll of a character who's a prominent side character in the main character's stories. So this is Nellie O'Malley. She is the servant girl that Samantha befriends. And so she gets a doll that's sort of pitched as an accessory to Samantha. She's not her own independent doll. She's sort of a part of Samantha's collection. And so because of that, the amount of items that she has is very limited. She has light skin, a Josefina mold, freckles, a strawberry blonde bob, and blue eyes, and her meat outfit is this white dress with a blue sash. The American Girl Today line gets another meat outfit. This one is the Ready for Fun outfit. Also, Hopscotch Hill gets another character whose name is Gwen. She looks just like the other ones. Also, American Girl launches the American Girl Club. Different from the previous American Girls Club, for this one, you pay a membership fee, and then you get a charm bracelet, and you get access to an interactive website with games and a chat feature, so you and your friends can message on the website, and by playing the games, you earn points, which can be redeemed on the website, or you can redeem them to get charms for the aforementioned charm bracelet. So it's a different club than the previous club. In 2005, we get another Girl of the Year. She is named Marisol Luna. She has medium skin, a Josefina mold, brown hair, and brown eyes. Her meat outfit is this pink tank top with a purple wrap top over it, olive green capris, a crocheted hat, and metallic shoes. She is a Latina girl from Chicago. She is a dancer. She does Mexican folk dance, and she's learning jazz, tap, and ballet. So her collection is a lot of dance costumes, a stage play set, and a costume trunk. Also, Felicity is re-released. Remember how she was taken out of the catalogs? Well, now she's back, because we are releasing Felicity, An American Girl Adventure, which is a movie all about Felicity. It, again, airs on the WB and then gets a DVD release. And she now gets a best friend doll. Her name is Elizabeth Cole. She has light skin, a Josefina mold, blonde hair, and blue eyes, and her meat outfit is this pink ball gown. And her family are loyalists, so they want to stay with Britain, because this is the colonial times, in case if you've forgotten from when I talked about Felicity so long ago now. There's a new book series called Historical Character Mysteries, different from History Mysteries. This time it is mystery novels starring the historical characters, so not new characters, the same characters that we're selling dolls of. Also, Girls of Many Lands is retired, probably because they were expensive for what they were, and the market for an expensive display doll is pretty niche. In 2006, Girl of the Year becomes its own brand. Previously, it had been considered sort of under the American Girl Today umbrella, but now it's separate. The Girl of the Year for 2006 is named Jess McConnell. She is a biracial character who is half Japanese and half white. So she has light skin and a new mold, which is called the Jess mold, and she has dark brown hair in braids and brown eyes. Her meat outfit is an orange embroidered top, an orange and pink tie-dye skirt, and sandals. In her story, her parents are archaeologists, so they're all living in Belize while her parents work on a dig. She's the first one in a genre of Girl of the Year dolls, who I call the Not in America girls, where basically the thing is living in a place that's not America. But the girl herself is American, so she's an American girl, she's just living abroad. And that's the theme for quite a few Girls of the Year. Jess's collection is very tropical. She has a kayak and a motorized scooter, a tree hammock, swimsuit, some tropical clothes. Also, American Girl Today is rebranded to Just Like You. So this is what I remember it being called. And so the Just Like You line gets a new meat outfit, which is the I Like Your Style outfit. Also, Molly gets a movie, Molly, An American Girl on the Home Front. It debuts on the Disney Channel and then on DVD. And she gets a best friend doll named Emily Bennett. She has light skin, a classic mold, red hair, and blue eyes. Her meat outfit is this blue cherry blossom print dress with a matching headband. Emily is a British girl who comes to stay in America because of the war going on in Europe. And I think she lives with Molly for like a week. And Molly realizes that the war is affecting people in different ways. Also, the American Girl Place Los Angeles opens. The American Girl Club is retired. And Hopscotch Hill is retired. In 2007, the Girl of the Year is Nikki Fleming. She has light skin, a classic mold, light brown hair, blue eyes, and freckles. Her meat outfit is a cream button-down, a blue embroidered skirt, and cowboy boots. She is a horse girl who lives on a ranch in Colorado. And she's the first Girl of the Year to have 2 books instead of just 1 book. Her collection is very horse-themed, Western-themed. There's also some ski items because she's from Colorado. We also get a new historical character. Her name is Julie Albright, and she represents 1970s San Francisco. She has light skin, a Josefina mold, very long blonde hair, and brown eyes. Her meat outfit is a striped turtleneck under a white peasant blouse with 2-toned bell-bottoms. Her story centers around her parents' divorce and gender equality. So Julie wants to play basketball at school, and we talk about Title IX. I do not care about sports, but I support Julie's dreams. Julie also debuts with a best friend doll. Her name is Ivy Ling. She is the first Asian American historical character. She has light skin, a Jess mold, black hair with bangs, and brown eyes. Her meat outfit is a cowl neck shirt, green pants, and boots. And her story centers around her Chinese heritage and Chinatown in San Francisco. Julie was released with all of her books and a lot of her items. Her books don't follow the old formula, so her books are Meet Julie, Julie Tells Her Story, Happy New Year, Julie, ! Julie and the Eagles, Julie's Journey, Changes for Julie. Also, Addy got a live-action play, and in 2007 and 2008, there were a lot of computer games and Nintendo DS games released for the American Girl dolls. In 2008, the Girl of the Year is Mia St. Clair, and she's the first one who I really remember, seeing catalogs with her in it. She has light skin, a classic mold, freckles, red hair, and hazel eyes. There's a test version of her that they did the year before when they were prototyping her that has darker skin and a new mold, but they didn't end up going with that. Mia's meat outfit is a magenta sweater with a snowflake on it, a white skirt, tights, and light blue sneakers. She is a figure skater, and her brothers play hockey, and her collection is ice-themed. There's an ice rink playset, skating costumes, various wintry outfits, and she also gets a bedroom playset. The Just Like You line gets a new meat outfit, the Star hoodie outfit, which when I received my doll for Christmas as a child, that's the outfit it came in. Also, dolls can now get their ears pierced. My second doll, we got her ears pierced, which in real life, I did not have my ears pierced until a few months ago. So as a child, I was very conflicted about the fact that my doll had pierced ears, but I didn't. Because I didn't really want pierced ears, but I liked the idea of earrings, but if the doll was supposed to be me, then that didn't really make sense. I don't know, I had a lot of thoughts about it. Also, Julie gets her summer and birthday items, and there is a Kittredge movie. Kittredge, an American Girl movie. It is released in theaters this time and then gets a DVD release. And as is tradition, she gets a best friend doll. Her name is Ruthie Smithens. She has light skin, a classic mold, brown curly hair, and gray eyes. Her meat outfit is this purple floral dress. I always thought Ruthie was so pretty, but I think maybe I just like purple. Ruthie's father works at a bank, so they're pretty financially stable, even though it's the Great Depression. So she's not really affected by it the same way that Kit is. Also, as part of the Kit items released for the movie, there was this awesome treehouse playset. I remember seeing this in the catalog and thinking it was the coolest thing ever. Which, here's the thing about American Girl playsets. They are 18-inch dolls. They are 1.5 feet tall. So a playset for an American Girl doll is huge. Also in 2008, the theaters are removed from the American Girl stores, which means that the Circle of Friends musical is retired, and Samantha and her entire collection is retired. So Samantha is no longer available for purchase. 2009, the Girl of the Year is named Krissa Maxwell. She has light skin, a Josefina mold, brown hair, and blue eyes. Her meet outfit is this pink floral wrap dress and these purple shoes. We're reaching the period of time where I don't love the fashion, so I think that Krissa's outfits are atrocious. Krissa is a swimmer who is bullied at school, and she also does pottery, and she has a grandmother who has pet llamas. So in her collection, she has swimming accessories, a craft table, a miniature llama, and party accessories. And then because her stories were themed around bullying, she was the first Girl of the Year to have friend dolls. There were 2 friends. The first one was Gwen Thompson. She had light skin, a classic mold, blonde hair with bangs, and brown eyes. Her meet outfit was a white sundress. And her story is that her father abandoned the family, and so she and her mother became homeless. And there's a little bit of pushback on this at the time that, like, Mattel created a homeless doll who they were selling for profit. I think American Girl has gotten a lot better about donating to charities that are thematically appropriate. And I think they maybe did donate to a charity in connection with Gwen, but there was still some controversy. The other friend is Sonali Matthews. She had dark skin and the debut of the Sonali mold. So this was the mold that they were working on for Mia before they decided not to go with that and to just go with a classic mold. And Sonali has dark brown hair and brown eyes. Her meet outfit is a turquoise tunic with a light green shirt underneath and denim capris. In her story, she was one of the popular mean girls who bullied Krissa before becoming friends with Krissa and Gwen. Krissa was the first Girl of the Year to get her own movie, Krissa Stands Strong, and it premiered on HBO. There is also a new historical character. Her name is Rebecca Rubin. She represents 1914, and she is a Jewish immigrant in New York. She has light skin, a Josefina mold, brown curly hair, and hazel eyes. Her meet outfit is a red drop-waist dress with black stockings and black and white boots. And her stories are about her Jewish heritage and also her desire to become an actress. Her books are Meet Rebecca, Rebecca and Anna, Candlelight for Rebecca, Rebecca and the Movies, Rebecca to the Rescue, and Changes for Rebecca. Also at this point, Kirsten's collection is retired. They do this thing where, like, if they're bringing in a new historical character, they will often retire an old one. So because we're getting Rebecca, we have to get rid of Kirsten. In 2010, the Girl of the Year is named Lainey Holland. She has light skin, a classic mold, curly blonde hair, and hazel eyes. Her meet outfit is this blue and green striped dress, a dragonfly headband, and blue shoes. Her story is themed around the environment and science and nature. She, like, takes field notes. Her collection had a camper playset, a hammock, a pet bunny, and a bunch of outfits with nature motifs, a lot of dragonflies and butterflies. The Just Like You line is now rebranded to My American Girl. There's a new meet outfit called the Real Me outfit, and this coincides with the debut of Interstar University, which was American Girl's online virtual world. So like Club Penguin, but for American Girl dolls. So it required the purchase of an American Girl doll, and then you would have a virtual version of that doll in the game, and you would be able to play mini games and stuff. There were also these charms which came with the purchase of dolls' outfits. In 2011, the Girl of the Year was Kanani Akina. She had medium skin, a Jess mold, long brown hair, and hazel eyes. Her meet outfit was this light blue floral dress and blue sandals. She's Hawaiian. Her father is of Japanese Hawaiian descent, and her mother is white. She helps her parents run their shave ice shop, and she's passionate about protecting Hawaiian wildlife. So her collection includes a shave ice stand, paddleboard, lounge chair, ukulele, and a bunch of outfits in pink, purple, and blue. We also get new historical characters, Marie Grace and Cecile. They are marketed as a duo, sort of like best friend dolls, but neither one is the main character. They're both equally important. Their stories take place in 1854 New Orleans. Cecile Ray has dark skin, a Sonali mold, curly dark brown hair, and hazel eyes, and her meet outfit is a teal silk dress and black boots. She comes from a well-respected family in the free people of color community in New Orleans. Marie Grace Gardner has light skin, the debut of the Marie Grace mold, light brown hair, and blue eyes. Her meet outfit is a pink dress and boots. She is new to New Orleans. Her and her father just moved there. Her father is a doctor, and this is taking place during the yellow fever epidemic. They each get 3 books. So, Meet Mary Grace and the Orphans, Marie Grace Makes a Difference, and Meet Cecile, Troubles for Cecile, and Cecile's Gift. Also, Felicity's collection is now retired. And at this point, they start releasing a lot of phone games. In 2012, the Girl of the Year is McKenna Brooks. She has light skin, Josefina mold, dark blonde hair, and blue eyes. Her meet outfit is a teal and gray striped dress, teal leggings, and lavender shoes. She is a gymnast who is struggling in school. It's implied that she's dyslexic, even though we don't actually say that. Also, she breaks her ankle. So her collection has a gymnastics bar, a loft bed, various gymnastics outfits, and a cast and crutches. She also gets a movie called McKenna Shoots for the Stars, which aired on NBC. The My American Girl line gets a new meet outfit, this time the True Spirit outfit. Cecile and Mary Grace get their summer outfits, and there is a new historical character named Caroline Abbott. She represents the War of 1812. She has light skin, a classic mold, curly blonde hair, and eyes that are referred to as aquamarine. Her meet outfit is a pink empire waist dress and pink shoes. Her family runs a shipyard, and there's a lot of sailing. Her books are Meet Caroline, Caroline's Secret Message, A Surprise for Caroline, Caroline Takes a Chance, Caroline's Battle, and Changes for Caroline. They always end with changes. All the other ones are different, but it's always meet and changes as the book ends. 2013, the Girl of the Year is Sage Copeland. She has light skin, a classic mold, auburn hair, and blue eyes. Her meet outfit is a dark blue dress and embroidered brown boots. She is a painter and a horse girl from New Mexico. Her collection includes a horse, a painting set, Western clothes, and a hot air balloon. She also gets a movie called Sage Paints the Sky, which aired on NBC. Also at this point, Molly's collection is retired. 2014, the Girl of the Year is Isabel Palmer. She has light skin, classic mold, blonde hair, and there was a hair extension clip included that would give her like a pink dip dye, and hazel eyes. Her meet outfit is a coral t-shirt, silver capri pants, and gold shoes. She's a dancer at a performing arts school, and she sews costumes. Her collection includes a dance bar, a dance studio, and mix and match dance clothes. She also gets a movie, Isabel Dances into the Spotlight, which airs on Disney Channel. Also in 2014, possibly the most controversial thing American Girl has ever done, the Beforever rebrand. So they overhaul the historical line. It is now called Beforever. They redesign all of the outfits to make them less historically accurate. The Beforever outfits kind of remind me of, there's a show that Hallmark produces called When Calls the Heart, which is supposed to be a period show, but the budget is like $10 per episode. So the costuming doesn't really look historical. And that's how I feel when I look at Beforever. Like high school play level costumes. It's the 1970s, kind of. As part of Beforever, they retired the remaining best friend characters, so Ruthie and Ivy. And they also retired Cecile and Mary Grace. And they re-released Samantha. And the books are abridged from 6 books to 2 books and the books no longer have illustrations. The explanation for this rebrand was that they wanted to appeal to modern audiences, and I guess modern little girls don't like historically accurate clothes. I don't know. There must be some sales data that the historical segment of the brand was doing the worst, because overhauling the entire line must have been a very expensive endeavor that they would not have done if they didn't think it was going to lead to an increase in sales. A lot of people, specifically the collector community, hates the beforever rebrand, myself included. Also, they started a new line of books called the My Journey books. These are like choose your own adventure time travel books where like a girl from modern times somehow travels back in time to the time period of one of the historical girls and then has some sort of adventure. These books were discontinued in 2019. In 2015, the Girl of the Year is Grace Thomas. She has light skin, Josefina mold, brown hair, freckles, and blue eyes. Her meat outfit is a white t-shirt with an Eiffel Tower print on it, a pink skirt, and gray ankle boots. In her story, she likes baking, and her mother go on a summer trip to Paris to stay with their family there. Her family owns a bakery in Paris, so in her collection, she has a bakery playset, baking accessories, and a lot of clothes with bows on them. She also gets a movie called Grace Stirs Up Success, which aired on the Disney Channel and stars young Olivia Rodrigo. There was also a collab with Williams-Sonoma where they sold like cooking utensils branded to Grace. My American Girl is now rebranded to Truly Me. The meat outfit is changed to the lilac dress outfit. This coincides with the end of the Interstar University virtual world and also the end of whatever those charms were. We get a new historical character named Mary Ellen Larkin. She represents 1954. She has light skin, a classic mold, strawberry blonde hair, and hazel eyes. Her meat outfit is this striped sundress with an aqua shrug and black T-strap shoes. She had polio as a child, but I don't think it's actually that important to her story. Like, it doesn't come up that often, I don't think. And there's also stuff about the Cold War. So as part of the beforever rebrand, she gets 2 books, Mary Ellen, The One and Only, and Mary Ellen, Taking Off. American Girl releases these YouTube short films for Julie and Mary Ellen, and also Caroline is retired. In 2016, the Girl of the Year is Leah Clark. She has light medium skin, Josefina mold, light brown hair with highlights, and hazel eyes. Her meat outfit is a multicolored striped dress, sandals, a compass necklace, and a messenger bag. Her story takes place in the Amazon rainforest in Brazil, and I think her brother goes missing and she has to find him because she gets a movie that is called Leah to the Rescue, which airs on the Disney Channel. Her collection includes a rainforest house playset, a fruit stand, a kayak, and various tropical outfits. The Biddy twins are retired, and they are replaced with the Welly Wishers. The Welly Wishers is another line that's aimed at children a little bit younger than the target demographic for the standard dolls. They're 14-inch all-vinyl dolls, kind of similar to Hopscotch Hill, though I think their faces are better. The characters are Willa, Kendall, Ashlyn, Emerson, and Camille. They get books and an animated series on Amazon, but later that series got re-uploaded onto the American Girl YouTube channel because I think their deal with Amazon is ending. There is a new historical girl named Melody Ellison. She represents the 1964 civil rights movement. She has dark skin, a Sonali mold, textured dark brown hair, and brown eyes. Her meat outfit is this aqua and yellow houndstooth dress. I for sure thought it was lime green. It just looks lime green from a distance. It's actually yellow and aqua. She has aqua shoes and a hair bow. Melody wants to be a singer. This is sort of during the Motown era. What a coincidence that her name is Melody and she wants to be a singer. And she again gets 2 main books. Also, we get 2 live action specials, Melody 1963, Love Has to Win, and Mary Ellen 1955, An Extraordinary Christmas. These were released on Amazon Prime and now seemingly have disappeared. Also at this point, the neck strings are replaced with zip ties. I realize I haven't explained what neck strings are. Should I get my doll? Hold on. I'm realizing now that I could probably just find images of this on the internet, but it's too late. I've already committed. So, the head is placed on the cloth body and tied into place with these neck strings that are sewn into the top of the cloth body. And so if you wanted to access her limbs, you would untie this, take off her head, and take off all the stuffing, and then you would be able to access her arm and leg joints, because sometimes those joints get loose over time and you need to tighten them or replace them. But anyway, they replaced those neckties with zip ties. Also, Mattel did an integration with their brand of knockoff Legos called Mega Bloks. So they did American Girl themed Mega Bloks. 2017, the Girl of the Year is Gabriella McBride. She is the first not white Girl of the Year since Kanani back in 2011. She has dark skin, a Sonali mold, curly brown hair, and brown eyes. Her meat outfit is a purple crop top over a teal tank top, jeggings, and purple and teal shoes. She's a dancer who likes poetry, and she has a stutter and attends speech therapy. Her collection includes a dance studio backdrop, performance accessories, and dance outfits. The controversy with Gabriella is that basically everyone agrees, even though American Girl has not confirmed this, that Gabriella was not initially intended to be the Girl of the Year. She was a last-minute course correction because American Girl had been getting criticism for only releasing white dolls. So that's why Gabriella's collection is smaller and sort of less cohesive, because they had to rush to finish it in time. The doll who we think was intended to be the Girl of the Year is Tenny Grant. And so they made Tenny, decided she wasn't going to be the Girl of the Year, but they wanted to release her anyway because they had finished working on her. So they created a new contemporary line for modern characters and released Tenny for that. Tenny has light skin, a classic mold, freckles, blonde hair, and brown eyes. Her meat outfit is a coral t-shirt, denim vest, pleated skirt, and brown shoes. She's an aspiring songwriter living in Nashville, and so she has this turquoise guitar, and she has a special hand mold so that she can hold the guitar, because the way that American Girl doll hands are shaped, they can't really hold anything. So Tenny got a bespoke hand mold. She also got a character as part of her story. We don't call it the best friend line anymore, but released in the contemporary line as Tenny's friend is the first ever boy doll named Logan Everett. This is an example of something that people in the American Girl fan community had been doing for years that then American Girl took note of and started doing themselves. So people had been making boy dolls for many years, selling short hair wigs on Etsy and more masculine clothing. And so American Girl decided, we can also do that. Logan has light skin, a Kaya mold, brown hair, and gray eyes. And this was a controversial decision because the Kaya mold had been created because of its cultural significance in the Nez Perce tribe, which using the Kaya mold for a boy doll also implies that Kaya's face is more masculine than the other face molds, which there are stereotypes associated with Native American women that they are more masculine, and so this sort of unfortunately ties into that stereotype, which is not ideal. And I know why they did it. They wanted him to be visually distinct from the girl dolls, other than just having short hair. I don't know what the solution should have been, but I think they should have workshopped it more. Logan's meat outfit has a teal t-shirt, a plaid overshirt, jeans, and sneakers. And he is Tenny's bandmate. The third contemporary character rounding out the line is Z Yang. She was originally a character from a stop-motion series on American Girl's YouTube channel. It was a series called Z's Crew. Stop motion is a popular genre on American Girl YouTube, making stop motion videos with your dolls, often music videos for some reason. And so again, American Girl was like, yeah, we can do that. And so this was a series on American Girl's official YouTube channel. Si Yang has light skin, a Jess mold, brown hair and 2 ponytails, and brown eyes. Her meat outfit is a blue t-shirt, a gray skirt, leggings, and silver shoes. She has glasses, but she's often not depicted wearing them, which, to be fair, is kind of like me before I got contacts, where I'd be wearing the glasses some of the time because they would give me headaches because I would tense up my ears. So even though I had glasses, I was often not wearing them. Within the contemporary line, Zi Yang is a Korean-American YouTuber who makes stop-motion videos, again, very meta, and she wants to be a filmmaker. Truly Me gets a new meat outfit called the Truly Me outfit, and they also debut the Create Your Own line, where you design a custom doll on the American Girl website. So you pick different combinations of features, and then they will make that doll for you and send it to you. You are limited as to what combinations of features you can do, but the American Girl community is excited because you can create combinations of features that have never before existed. Also, Felicity is re-released as part of Beforever, and she gets this new meat outfit, which is a teal and yellow gown, which looks like, I don't know, like a Tudor gown or like a robe à la française. It does not look right, but that's sort of all of the Beforever outfits, so, We also get a new historical character. Her name is Nenea, and she represents 1941 and the Hawaii Pearl Harbor attack. She has medium skin, a new mold called the Nenea mold, brown hair, and hazel eyes. This sort of is the beginning of American Girl making a lot of new face molds that I don't like. So like the Nenea mold and a lot of the new molds, they're making the faces a lot slimmer, which I don't like. I don't know. And then it's also the beginning of painted on eyelashes. So the dolls have always had eyelashes. It's part of that eye component thing. But now there's eyelashes being painted onto the skin above the eye. Which, again, this is something that people in the American Girl doll collecting community had been doing, of like putting makeup on the dolls, which since the dolls look like toddlers, it always feels very like toddlers and tiaras when you put makeup on an American Girl doll. I don't like it, but to each their own, I guess. So American Girl had taken note that people liked putting eyelashes on the dolls, so they also put eyelashes on a doll. Nenea's meat outfit is an orange blouse, white shorts, and sandals. Her mother is Hawaiian and her father is white, and she lives in Hawaii when the attack on Pearl Harbor happens, so she is traumatized after that, understandably, and her friend experiences anti-Japanese racism. Nenea again gets 2 books. There were some changes to the construction of the dolls that were very unpopular. The first one is perma panties, as in permanent panties. The dolls have had underwear, I just haven't been mentioning it because it feels weird to mention, but it's always been like a separate piece, like a piece of clothing. And starting in this year, it was like permanently sewn onto the cloth body. And people hated it, so they recalled it. And you could, for free, send your doll into the doll hospital and they would swap out her torso. Also, they changed the eye mechanism, and people didn't like that either. There were 2 more live action specials, Ivy and Julie 1976, Happy Balance, and An American Girl Story, Summer Camp Friends for Life, which was about Zi Yang. And they were both on Amazon Prime and are now seemingly gone. In 2018, the Girl of the Year is Luciana Vega. She has medium skin, Josefina mold, dark brown hair with purple streaks, and brown eyes. Her meat outfit is a galaxy print dress and holographic boots. Her theme is space, and she goes to space camp and is doing all sorts of science things, robotics, women in STEM. Her collection includes a Mars habitat playset, robot stuff, a space suit, which Luciana's cool because of the novelty of her. Like, so many of the girls of the year are gymnasts or dancers or living abroad, and space feels like a very different, exciting theme. However, American Girl was sued by an astronomer named Lucianne Walkowicz, who alleged that American Girl was using her likeness. She had done a TED Talk about Mars and had talked a lot about the star Vega. She had purple streaks in her hair. She and American Girl settled out of court. What I think happened is that someone on the design team was inspired by her, pitched the Girl of the Year without explaining what their inspiration had been. The Girl of the Year had been greenlit without anyone knowing or realizing that she was based off of a real person, and then by the time she was released, the real person noticed. Also, we get boy Truly Me dolls for the first time, and they get a Truly Me meet outfit. Also, the contemporary line is retired. Also, American Girl debuts a touring musical show called American Girl Live. It is a musical that includes the stories of Rebecca, Nenea, Mary Ellen, Melody, Julie, and Luciana. And it involves girls telling stories at a summer camp called Camp American Girl. 2019, the Girl of the Year is Blair Wilson. She has light skin, Josefina mold, red hair, and green eyes. Her meet outfit is a white sundress with bees on it and sandals. Her parents run like a bed and breakfast on a farm, and Blair finds out that she is lactose intolerant, and so she has to deal with that. Her collection includes a farm restaurant playset and various farm and garden accessories. She's very cottagecore. In Beforever news, they changed the name back to historical characters. Felicity was retired again, and there is a book revamp with more illustrations. Also, the American Girl magazine is retired, and American Girl partners with Swarovski, the crystal people, to do collector American Girl dolls. And they've been doing that every year since. Various Swarovski American Girl collector edition dolls. I don't care about them, so this is the only time I'm mentioning it. In 2020, the Girl of the Year was Joss Kendrick. She has light skin, the debut of a new mold, the Joss mold, which I don't like the Joss mold either. Brown hair and brown eyes. Her meet outfit is a pink swimsuit, a teal hoodie, jean shorts, and sandals. And she has a hearing aid. She is a surfer who also does cheerleading, and she has hearing loss, so she speaks sign language and has a hearing aid. Her collection includes this Volkswagen bus, a surfboard, and some cheerleading stuff. The Truly Me dolls, both the girl dolls and the boy dolls, get new meet outfits. And also, American Girl starts making dyed hair Truly Me dolls, so dolls that have unnatural hair colors, which people in the American Girl collecting community have been doing for years. You put a pink wig on the doll, but now American Girl is selling these officially. There's a new historical character named Courtney Moore, and she represents 1986, and there was public outcry that 1986 is now considered history, which, if I can defend it for just a moment, when American Girl debuted with Molly, Molly's time period was roughly 40 years old. When Julie was released, Julie was roughly 40 years old. And so at the time of Courtney's release, her time period was roughly 40 years old. I know the 80s feel very recent because of all the technological advancements. How can a time with computers be considered history? But to modern 8-year-olds, it is history. Courtney has light skin, a classic mold, curly blonde hair, and blue eyes. Her meet outfit is a blue crop top, an acid wash denim skirt, pink leggings, and white boots. Her collection has been criticized for being too stereotypically 80s. That's kind of the problem with all of the post-Beforever outfits, though, that they don't feel super grounded in the time period, more like a cartoon depiction of that time period. And I think a lot of Courtney's stuff is pretty cute. Cuter than a lot of the other historical characters have right now. Courtney has divorced parents, and her mom is campaigning to be mayor. Courtney's into video games and Star Wars, and she's excited about the Challenger mission. Uh-oh. She has 2 central books, and her collection has a lot of 80s things. Pac-Man, and Caboodles, and Strawberry Shortcake, and Care Bears. And then, because she represents 1986, the debut of the Pleasant Company brand, she also has her own little Molly doll. Again, weirdly meta. Also, the American Girl stores. I haven't talked about any of the American Girl stores other than the main 3 flagship stores in Chicago, New York, and Los Angeles, but there have been a lot of stores across the country. In sort of the late 2010s, there had been some store closures, but starting with the pandemic, there's just a lot of stores closing. 2021, the Girl of the Year is Kira Bailey. She has light skin, a Josefina mold, blonde hair, green eyes. Her meat outfit is a pink tank top, olive skirt, and boots. She goes to Australia to an animal sanctuary that is run by her great aunts. Her great aunts are a lesbian couple, by the way, which American Girl received some backlash for. Kira's collection contains a lot of wildlife-themed things and a platform tent playset. The Truly Me line releases a street chic collection of these 3 dolls with their own special outfits. And there is a new line released called World by Us, and it aims to cover more complex and serious topics like racism. The 3 characters in the line are Yvette Peters, a mixed-race girl who cares about the environment, Maritza Ochoa, a Latina soccer player, and McKenna Williams, who's into fashion and is like an Instagram influencer, I guess. And she has a new mold, which this mold follows this new trend of American Girl molds where she looks even younger. Like, American Girl dolls already look really young, but this mold, she looks like a baby. Like, she looks so young. I don't love it. Can we please just use an Addy mold? Also, because it is the 35th anniversary of American Girl, they do a 35th anniversary release of the first 6 historical dolls in their original outfits. And they do another charity collector's edition doll line. These are one-of-a-kind modern interpretations of the historical dolls that are auctioned off for charity. 2022, the Girl of the Year is Corinne Tan. She has light skin, a new mold called the Corinne mold, which again, I feel like her face is slimmer and looks younger. Black hair with turquoise streaks and brown eyes. Her meat outfit is a white sweater with lilac leggings and turquoise boots. She is Chinese American, her parents divorced, and her mom has remarried. She skis, and somehow search and rescue dogs are involved. Her collection includes a bedroom, some ski lodge stuff, and she also gets a sister doll. Her sister's name is Gwen Tan. She has light skin and is a Welly Wishers doll. She has the Emerson mold. She has brown hair with bangs and brown eyes. Her meat outfit is a lilac sweater, a pink fuzzy skirt, and she has a very limited collection, but she does have a figure skating outfit. There is a huge overhaul of the Truly Me line. Basically, all of the dolls are retired, and they release 25 new dolls. All of the girl dolls have painted eyelashes. You can just remove the paint. You can, like, take nail polish remover and remove it, so it's not that big of a deal, but I don't love it. There are 5 different meat outfit options for the girl dolls and 1 for the boy dolls. Also, Molly is re-released. She'd gotten a limited re-release in Costco, wearing a different outfit in 2018, but now she's back. Also, we get a new historical character named Claudie Wells. She represents the 1920s Harlem Renaissance. She has dark skin, a new mold called the Claudie mold, which looks young, curly brown hair, and brown eyes. Her meat outfit is a blue and white gingham dress, a seafoam green cardigan, and black shoes. She lives in a boarding house, and she wants to be a dancer. Also, American Girl releases some official podcasts, 10-Minute Mysteries, the American Girl Fan Club, and the Smart Girls podcast. 2023, the Girl of the Year is Kavi Sharma. She has medium skin, a Mary Grace mold, the unlikely return of the Mary Grace mold, brown hair, and brown eyes. Her meet outfit is an aqua top with these sort of sheer sleeves, silver pants, and pink high tops. She is into both musical theater and dance, both hip-hop and traditional Indian dance, and she was released with a journal instead of a book. There was a book, but she didn't come with the book. She came with the journal. Her collection includes a backstage playset, a Bollywood dance costume, and a collab with the musical Wicked, so an Elphaba and a Galinda costume. And there's new historical girls, Nikki and Isabel Hoffman, who are fraternal twins, and they represent 1999 and Y2K. And I do agree that that is too recent for historical girls. Maybe if it was earlier 90s, but with the recent resurgence in Y2K fashion, it's obviously just a move by American Girl to try and capitalize on that. People criticize that decision, but they are in fact a business, so I'm not gonna get too mad about it. Like, oh, they're just a cash grab. Yes. Nikki has light skin, a Joss mold. She has brown hair with chunky blonde highlights in the front and blue eyes. Her meet outfit is a navy dress over a t-shirt, a pink flannel tied around her waist, and navy sneakers. And she's like a grunge skateboarder. Isabel has light skin, a Joss mold, blonde hair with highlights, and green eyes. Her meet outfit is a white shirt with a lilac sweater vest, a plaid skirt, and lilac heeled shoes. She's like preppy, very Cher from Clueless. And they just have a lot of 90s references. Spice Girls, Backstreet Boys, No Doubt, Beanie Babies, AOL Instant Messenger, the Tony Hawk Pro Skater game, and the American Girl magazine, which I feel like that would be more fun if the American Girl magazine still existed, but it doesn't. So that's sad. They were also released with journals instead of books, and they've been criticized for being styled kind of too old. Like, they're still 10, the characters. The dolls, of course, look 3. But if you look at the American Girl of today clothes that they were putting out in the 90s and compare it to these clothes look like teenager clothes. Like, they look too old to be 10-year-olds. Simultaneously too young and too old. There's also the release of Corinne Tan the movie. Corinne is no longer the Girl of the Year, but I think there was distribution problems with the movie, so it was released now. Also, it is the end of the benefit sale. The past few years, they did it only online because of the pandemic, but then 2023, they said this is the last year, and after this, we are done. I'm filming this in September, but in October, they are going to release the 2024 Girl of the Year because they want to have her released in time for the holiday season, which people are grumpy about, but again, American Girl is a business trying to make money, so I can't be like, they're releasing her so people buy her for Christmas. Yes. It seems ambitious that I would have this video done by the time she's released, but as of right now, she isn't released, so maybe I'll, insert something here. Okay, it is me from the future, and I have things to add. The 2024 Girl of the Year is Leela Minetti. She rides horses, and she has a horse, and both her and her horse have hair rhinestones? Okay. And she does gymnastics. And as an Easter egg, they had the 2012 Girl of the Year, McKenna, be her gymnastics coach. Again, meta. So, 2 things about Leela. Thing number 1, the hobbies. American Girl loves to repeat hobbies for Girls of the Year. For reference, I have made a helpful chart of the Girls of the Year and their hobbies, which it isn't perfect because some of them have multiple hobbies and they overlap in different ways, but just as a general baseline. If the hobbies have been feeling repetitive, that's because they are. But children's media runs on a short cycle because children are constantly aging out and new children are aging into the target demographic. So it feels like, oh, gymnastics and horses again? But they last did gymnastics with McKenna in 2012 and horses with Sage in 2013. And the kids who are the target age for American Girl now were probably not even born then. So they're repeating the same popular hobbies every couple of years for new kids. Though I would argue that they could try to have a little more variety. Thing number 2, Leela is another white doll. And I'm sure some of you are wondering why it even matters that Leela is white. Well, firstly, I think kids of all different ethnicities should get to see themselves reflected in characters and have characters who look like them, which means not just having white characters. And also, it's important for all kids to see characters of all different ethnicities because that's the world we live in, and they should learn about that. So the racial diversity of these characters is important. And I think American Girl does try to release characters of different ethnicities and cultures, but American Girl releases a lot of white dolls. Percentage-wise, a lot of the historical girls are white. And girls like Josefina and Addy would probably have been retired at this point, but American Girl knows it would look really bad for the diversity of the lineup, so they're keeping them around, but you can only buy the dolls in their meat outfit, and nothing else is available for them. And a lot of the Girls of the Year are white. For the Girls of the Year, the ratio is 7 not white dolls to 15 white dolls. I think that unfortunately there's probably some sales data behind it. Like, I think the white dolls sell better, and that's why they make more of them. Like, I think especially at the luxury price point American Girl is at, probably a lot of the people buying them are white. And I think there's this phenomenon with American Girl dolls where when a parent or aunt or whoever buys a doll for a kid, they pick one that looks like the child. That's been part of the marketing of Create Your Own and Just Like You, right? And so if a lot of the kids receiving American Girl dolls are white, then American Girl is going to sell a lot of white dolls. My 2 dolls were supposed to look like me, and my cousins each got a doll that was kind of supposed to look like them, and so I had 5 white dolls. I don't know, this is its own whole topic in and of itself, and this video is already so long, but I had a lot of thoughts. But that is the history of the company as of September 2023 when I am recording this. The 40th anniversary is in a few years. That's probably going to be exciting. They'll probably release more face molds that I don't like. But that's all I have for you. This was very fun for me to research, and hopefully it was at least somewhat fun for you to watch. I don't know how to end a YouTube video. So, bye!